BMW's current generation 5 Series has been much in demand since it was launched in 2010. And that's no surprise. It combines a choice of petrol and turbo diesel engines with a supple sorted chassis and pretty attractive styling. Now, I've driven most of the currently available 5 Series models in the range up to now, and I've found out that there is one particular version that stands out. The surprising part is that it's not the top end, but indeed the entry-level 520D version. The 520D was also the surprise package of the previous 5 Series, but if anything, it's become even more attractive in the context of this latest so-called F10 generation model. It combines better than expected urge with frugal fuel consumption while retaining the smooth refinement and the incisive road manners inherent to the current 5 range. That it's pretty easy on the eye only adds to the car's overall appeal. 520D might be the most affordable member of the 5 Series clan, but it certainly doesn't look the entry-level part. It's an attractive and sleek car with a blunt front end and a large grille which add a welcome touch of aggression. More importantly, despite the dimensions of this car, it always looks poised and attractive. There are those who believe that this 5 Series has an appeal enduring enough to earn it classic status in the years to come. It's certainly a shape that turns heads, and for all the right reasons. The proportions ensure an athletic, eager stance, while the optional M Sport styling package fitted to our test car, with its hungry lower air intake, extended sills and deeper rear apron, ensure an almost menacing presence. The big wheels and fat rubber add even more street cred. But the 520D is first and foremost an executive car, and that presupposes a certain level of luxury. Interior colours and finishes are a matter of personal taste. If this was my car, I would have ordered it with dark leather and metallic finishes. But for others, this combination of light hide and glossy wood is the epitome of luxury. However, there's one element that isn't arguable at all, and that's the quality. Everything here feels absolutely top-notch. Not that this should come as any surprise. The 5 finds itself in the very heartland of executive motoring, which means it needs to please even the most pernickety buyers. So the cabin is spacious and the standard specification is comprehensive, but by no means full house, unless you're prepared to pay extra. Our test car was loaded with options, from sat-nav to rear seat entertainment, the M Sport body kit, sport seats and more, all of which added well over 100,000 rands to the asking price. A 2-litre engine in a large 4-door sedan sounds like a dynamic debacle, but in reality quite the opposite is true. This is a high-tech turbo diesel producing 135 kilowatts of maximum power at 4,000 RPM and an impressive 380 Newton meters of torque at just 1,900 RPM. That urge is transferred to the rear wheels in true BMW tradition by an 8-speed automatic gearbox. Perhaps most importantly, the engine's characteristics and the ratios of the auto gearbox are carefully matched, allowing a smooth and linear power delivery. The response to throttle input is instantaneous, without any sign of lag. With all that torque, the 520D never seems to run out of steam, even with a full complement of occupants and luggage on board. In-gear tractability is particularly impressive. But that's not the only remarkable aspect. The 520D is also an economy king. Even with some spirited driving, we posted an average of just 7.3 litres per 100 kilometres, which should drop to the low 6s or even the high 5s at constant highway speeds. CO2 emissions of just 137 grams per kilometre underline just how efficient this drivetrain is. Quite surprisingly, the trump card of the 520D is its dynamic prowess. There's a lot of urge, especially as far as torque's concerned, and performance always feels brisk. The credited 0 to 100 time, 8.1 seconds, top speed 225 kilometers an hour. But it's the way the car reacts and responds and the handling of the overall package that really impresses. Of course, part of the reason is a taut and very adept chassis, benefiting here from the M Sport option kit's lower and stiffer suspension. It allows a much more direct line of communication between car and driver, albeit at the cost of a slightly edgier ride over rougher surfaces. Frankly, it's a small price to pay. In overall terms, the 520D feels much more nimble and wieldy than its 4.8 meter length and 1.86 meter width would suggest, let alone that it still weighs 1.7 tons. When it comes to cars, we think that the most powerful and the most expensive model is also the best, but that's not necessarily the case, as this BMW 520d proves. It might not be the dearest nor the fastest, but it provides a great balance between performance, handling, equipment and value. With executives increasingly opting for more efficient, smaller engine cars, the BMW 520d proves that you can tick many of the green boxes while not giving up on life's little indulgences. A compact, frugal and yet torquey turbodiesel powering a large but slippery sedan is a match made in motoring heaven, in town and on the open road. The result is a sedan with class written all over it, but opting for a few extras can see the basic price rocket all too quickly.